I decided to celebrate the fact that my room has been clean for more than 5 minutes and make a little room tour. That is Cappy the Caterpillar kindly asking you to remove your shoes, which I really don't adhere to at all. Or, yeah, you don't want to know what's happening if that's flipped around. So, to start off, my jewelry wall. I twisted together and braided together a bunch of ribbons and cords that were odds and ends and bits and bobs, and then I just kind of clipped and wove my jewelries as they would hang. Note Ken's tiny little sliver of space because girl stuff takes up lots more room. Over here we have autographs by Gabe and Tycho of Penny Arcade. I got to work next to them at SakuraCon a couple years ago as a booth dudess, and it was quite cool. A talented artist whose name I forgot did a caricature of me in my Tintin costume. If you can read that, find them and give them credit for this image so I'm not a dick. And obligatory Sephiroth because the poster was free and it's a cool pose, but I couldn't take it too seriously, so he's got a little glow-in-the-dark star bindi so I can find my way when I go to the bathroom at 3 in the morning. And a mirror from which to summon demons or whatever people do with mirrors. Make sure they don't look like bog trolls when they slink out of their cave. I don't know, but hey, everyone needs a mirror, right? Right. Next up is the entertainment center. The big naked spot in the middle is where our PS3 lives, but Kenneth has taken that to go hang out with his friends. So we have a hole. This is his dresser. So we have pants, underpants and sockets, and shirts. So that's because he's a guy in low maintenance. All of his clothes can fit in that. Amateur. Our big beautiful TV, thanks to Ken's papa and step mummy. Big, beautiful, awesome, shiny TV of amazingness that we could never have afforded. And Boba Fett guarding his controller. Disney Princess parties, I did a newer version of shells because mine are actual Lion's Posse shells, which are A, very heavy, and B, dig the crap out of my poor little ribbies. So these are one of the shell bras from Everything's a Dollar. So I'm going to see if those work out better. Ao no Exorcisto, otherwise known as, dude, that show's awesome. Ken's a major fan, so I have some wall things and some various swags. These are mostly stuff I brought home from Ken, for Ken, various fun stuff. The two up top were actually book covers from the dollar store that I hacked up and pretended were posters. Yes. Black Lagoon, he's also a big fan. I couldn't hang with Remy. She was too much of a bitch even for my taste, like to the point where I couldn't identify with her as a character, so I gave no fucks if anything happened. I'm sure she's supposed to be off-putting, but dude, come on. Currently, Ken is sporting Gucci Guilty Cologne because awesomest girlfriend ever got it for him for Christmas, so I found this really cool advert from a big magazine and stuck it on the wall because he is guilty of being sexy. See what I did there? Because I'm clever. And I have to rib Ken a little bit about this. He thinks Sandra Bullock is pretty. He thinks she's sexy. He wants to date her. That is a reference from one of her movies. Yeah, I have to pick on him a little bit. But hey, he happens to like brown-eyed beauties. I can't discount that at all. A little bit more Blue Exorcist swag. These are some really cool little jelly finish folders I got from conventions. Here's another one there. I don't have the heart to stick a pushpin through them, so I have yet to effectively mount them to the wall. These guys aren't really part of Ken's wall things, but they are Captain Haddock and the Dread Pirate Red Rackham from the Adventures of Tintin. They're hopelessly torn up, but I do not have the heart to throw them away because they were $12 each. This is our gaming chair. It cost free, so it is the coolest chair ever at the moment. Dirty laundry, y'all don't want to see that. It's just mostly reeks of pizza, but, you know, still. Milty the Moogle guarding the 3 or 4 hats I have in their rotation right now. Snowy the Durg guarding me from the baddies, like a good Durg does. And Dizziness, whoosh. This is my dresser. Tacked up with advertisements from MAC Cosmetics, because for the most part they do some pretty cool stuff. I think they have some really fun, creative advertisements. So I have them tacked up. I thought the Glamour Days was really cool. I had kind of a hard time deciding how I was going to tack it up because it's a little booklet. So I just kind of stuck with that because they're just as pretty. I thought the Shop Cook collection was a pretty cute idea. And then in sharp contrast, a Geek magazine poster of a bunch of different spaceships. They don't have Serenity on there. They're grounded for life. Of course, Serenity is probably tiny enough. It's most likely on there, but just as like a star next to one of these guys. I don't know why my phone is taking so long to zoom. It's being temperamental. It's on its period. So the next zone is my horrible, mantangled mess of convention badges, and yes, it is as horrific as it looks. My boy Harry Houdini chilling out, reminding me no matter what kind of a tough scrape you're in, there's always a way to wiggle out of it. Mr. Pickles, the bath mitt, never used him. He's never seen combat. He's just cool looking. Big O, very cool series. But I would stop giving even the slightest of fucks around the second half of it, because I'm not sure what they were thinking with that part. I know they wanted to satisfy fans, but I don't really think they did it. Of course, I could just be a cranky old douche. Fuzzy! Ken got to meet these guys. Yes, that is Chris Jericho. I think that's his name. I'm lame-o and don't remember. But those are all their genuine, authentic autographs. Ken got to hang out with them for like an hour and a half or something. And they all just shot the shit with him for quite a while. And were very excellent, down-to-earth dudes. And their CD kicks mucho Maximus Assimus. It's, Sin and Bones. Yeah. Rock on! Yeah, this is Ken's stuffed lemur he's had since he was itty bitty bitty. He doesn't have a name, but he just sits and chills in a place of honor on top of my action figure-laden bookshelf of doom. And he, with one of Ken's stuffed platypi from his friend Mitchie in Australia. So I have our Lord and Savior who art on this bookshelf. I have Yoreiden Samurai Turupa. The show is delightfully campy and amazing. My badass hardcore super metal Snow White piggy bank. I have a tea set from Beauty and the Beast. I have this awesome Lisa Frank unicorn that almost kind of has my name, so my mom got all excited and went, "Mark it out, I found something that's almost kind of personalized." And I went, "You know what? I'll take it." Anastasia's music box is hanging out back there, along with this, 10-pound Gucci ornament that came with Ken's cologne that I got him for Christmas. But since it's basically a wrecking ball with a designer label on it, it's really hard to hang on the tree. Sumomo from Chobits. She actually talks, but I have her battery off right now. That box is full of, actual pictures. So it's just kind of hanging out there. It's mostly pictures from my Spain trip freshman year, high school senior year, all that fun jazz. I'm awesome and have not categorized them into a book just yet. Lotions, potions, notions. I'm a big fan of Beauty and the Beast, so I have my little jewelry box. A couple of my mom's cool rings, me Bailey Bowden rings, my awesome Hello Kitty earrings. I have some of my bottles of perfume in here. This little globe is full of all those little perfume vials. Then I have 2 bottles from Victoria's Secret. This is the original Coach perfume, but when it came to me, the bottle had exploded, so I only got about half of it. I was too dumb to pay for insurance, so that's my fault. I got this cool bottle at TJ Maxx for $4, so I found a way around it. And down here are my actual books. I have some celebrity memoirs, like Why We Suck with Dr. Dennis Leary. He's got a copy of his doctorate in there. Victoria Beckham talking about shoes. Stephen Colbert's I Am America and So IR. Yes, I Am America and So Can You. Blah, blah, blah. IR Ken title. Some makeup books because I want to be a special effects makeup-er. And beauty makeup helps to also know. Every Tintin book I've ever been able to get my grubby mitts on. I own all of the comic versions of every single one of the adventures. Even the racist one that takes place in the Congo that was written by a young and naive white Belgian boy in the 20s, so get off his back. Yes, they were unflattering portrayals of African culture, but he literally had no other information. And then he went, research, oh, I should have done that first. Painful learning experience. I have a couple books by the official head honcho Tintinologist Michael Farr, and they're a fun read. I have an activity book I got off Evil Bay for, 10 shekels, I don't remember. It's an adventure book focusing around the Autocar Scepter, and it's got one of those spot the differences between the pictures, it's got a fun little maze, a little word matching game, really cute stuff. I think it's from like the 80s. Thank you to Tori for pointing this out at Barnes & Noble. A movie book. Even if you weren't a huge fan of the movie, it's a really fun glimpse into the process that goes into a movie like that. And speaking of the man himself, slightly less than actual height. He's a short dude. I have this height chart that I got from a children's store in Seattle because it is the only place I found on American soil to get Tintin swag that I've ever been able to actually see for myself in person. His actual listed height is 5'6", which is my height, so woo! I just saw him and thought he was so freaking cute I had to have him, so neener. This banner is Japanese for "Don't hand me the microphone, I'm drunk." It's a party favor from Daiso Japan. Doodle I did well being Employee of the Year at the Proactive Mall card. Badge you're not supposed to see. Shh, it's a secret to everyone. My Sleeping Beauty crown I made with foil cardstock from Joann's. It was $1 a sheet. I believe it took me 2 sheets to do front and back. I just have like double stick tape in there and then fabric paint. It's not terribly sturdy if you repeatedly have your crown fall off your head. However, for a budget-friendly option that has a mirror-like finish, definitely. One of my girls from a Rapunzel party, when she heard that Rapunzel was going to be at her party, brought her beautiful artwork and lovingly handed it to me in an addressed envelope she doodled on. The second I got home, that bitch went up on the wall, and it's lived there ever since. Speaking of glory, my best friend in the whole entire galaxy, Kumar, got me this sexy giant poster from GameStop because he worked there, and he was awesome and did terrible things by handing out store props, but hey, they were done with it. Boda bag, really cool hat from the 50s or 60s or something. It's proudly union made, that's all I know of it. Everyone needs a Boda bag, just because. I am not a sports fan. My dad tells me I'm a sports fan. My dad tells me I'm a Denver Broncos fan, therefore I'm a Denver Broncos fan. I don't like another team enough to argue, so whatever. These seem like good kids. I have this pennant because of the date and because it is a New York team. I feel like that's kind of, at least in recent memory, one of the last days we were kind of normal, or the day before we were no longer normal and we were really shaken up. Someone really shook up the snow globe. So that's kind of a reminder to me that life is fragile and that peace should never be taken for granted, because one day you're breaking in a multi-bajillion-dollar brand new beautiful mile-high football stadium with your buddies from New York, and the next day they are being told their family members are killed, their friends are killed, their devoted firefighters and policemen are killed because some terrorists decided that they needed to make a point at the cost of hundreds, if not thousands, of lives. So, life is fragile, kids. Moral of the story. That's your fortune cookie for the day. On lighter news, a very cool coworker from Daiso Japan got me a Disney Princess Minnie Mouse ear set, so that is a place of glory on my wall. My Wiimote keychain flail weapon of doom. Yes, that is a plush eggplant. Japan has lots of fun, adorable keychains about things you wouldn't expect. Eggplant-chan never made it to the sales floor because when the case came in and it was carrots and tomatoes and strawberries and eggplants, all of us girls that worked at Daiso Japan went, kawaii, and snapped that little bitch right up, so he never made it to the sales floor. He's very cute and very smushy. I have relics of days gone by in the form of a backstage pass at FYE and a Borders swipe card, Borders rewards card. My reward for getting the membership was watching their poor franchise die anyway, because people don't buy books anymore because people have forgotten to read, and it hurts my feels. And then, of course, last but not least, the place where I drag my carcass home after 10 hours of slinging pizza at 4, 5, sometimes 6 in the morning. Stranger things have happened. It's also my laptop desk. It's also my drawing desk. The bed is generally the center of the home because it's big and comfy. For many moons, Ken and I were splitting a twin mattress, and then his parental units very, very mercifully granted us a pillow top queen, and now all 4 of our feet stay on the bed. It's miraculous. And then, for the moment, I don't have anything cool on the back of my door. I'm sure I'm going to do some cool funness with it. The point of the video is I have a floor. There's this big flat thing that holds up all of my stuff. And I can see it, and it's freshly vacuumed, and it's awesome because I have a place for my feet to go. And everyone needs a place for your feet to go and for your bed to sit on. So floors are generally good. Yes, I'm for it. So if you're feeling brave and if you're feeling tidy enough, film or take a picture of your room, and maybe we can get some fun insight into each other's daily lives and enjoy the weirdness that we share, that we bond over, find out some cool new stuff, find out each other's hobbies, passions, likes, dislikes, fears. Maybe not fears. We don't want it to be about fear. We want it to be about peace, love, and of course, bug-eyed chameleons who wake you up with a tongue in your ear. If we can't all bond over that cuteness, then there's no hope for society.